Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Next case is style the state of Texas versus Jesse Obina Anamachi. He has 3 cases. First case is cause number 321244. Second case is cause number 324097. And the third case is cause number 326143. All 3 cases are styled the state of Texas versus Jesse Obina Anamachi. Mr. Anamachi, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Anamachi, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Anamachi, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Anamachi, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Anamachi? You okay? Okay, Mr. Anamachi, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Dustin Galmore. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Anamachi, in cause number 324097, I have before me an information that has been filed by the district attorney's office. This information alleges that on or about July 10th of 2019 and continuing through July 16th of 2019, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense of harassment. Mr. Anamachi, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, Mr. Anamachi, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Anamachi, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document, Mr. Anamachi?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line that is titled Nola Contendere, which means no contest. Mr. Anamachi, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, there's a signature. Well, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? And I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Anamachi, do you recognize this document?
I'm so sorry. I can't see it.
Speak up for me, sir.
Yes, sir.
And now, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Anamachi, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Galmo, go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Anamachi, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And Mr. Galmore, you've advised in counsel, Mr. Anamachi, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Anamachi, your attorney, Mr. Galmore, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Anamachi, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement in case number 324097 is for 18 months of deferred probation, a $500 fine, 60 hours of community service, and no contact with Megan Holman. In addition, the state will agree to dismiss the MTRP in case number 321244 and case number 326143.
Mr. Animachi, the state is offering that you serve 18 months on deferred adjudicated probation. During this probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $352, which comes to a total of $852. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you would have to pay while you're on probation, is $125 a month. Mr. Anamachi, will you be able to pay the $125 each month?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You cannot have any contact with Megan Holman, and the state will dismiss cause numbers 326143 and cause number 321244. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. Mr. Anamachi, do you understand the state's offer? And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes,
And do you accept the state's offer?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Anamachi, I would defer a finding of guilt and place you on probation for a period of 18 months. And Mr. Anamachi, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not appear on your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney, Mr. Galmore, about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Mr. Anamachi, I'm going to stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our clerk. And once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
On that blue light.
Hey, I thank Mr. Galmore. This will conclude your case.
It does, thank you.
You'll be free to go as well. And you have a blessed day.
Now, Mr. Onamachi, can I have your
But I'm not doing
signature?
that one today.
Okay, this is cause number 331154, State of Texas versus John, is it Angel or Angel Guillory? Angel Guillory?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Guillory?
I'm fine.
Okay, Mr. Guillory, your attorney, I don't know if he's in another court. Your case is gonna be reset.
Okay.
You have to, did you have to get off from work?
No.
You don't, okay. Give him a standard reset.
It's for active review.
April the 8th. Okay. Stand on down that far X. Once you get your reset, Mr. Guillory, you'll be free to go. Thanks for being patient with us
Okay.
and get in contact with your attorney.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and pass this around. Maybe for that, but if you can.
And this will conclude the calling of the court's dockets. We had the motion to revoke probation docket and we had the announcement docket. Both dockets were scheduled at 9 a.m. on today's date of March 4th of 2022 in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day and blessed weekend.
Thank you.